right. So, I have been getting informed of these apparently scrapped storylines from John Tobias's early heydays with Mortal Kombat. I didn't know about these. I don't know everything about Mortal Kombat, but I always love to learn more stuff, and not fan fiction, actual truth. And so this guy says, I'm not saying that. He said his name, Don. He says Bihan killed he and Scorpion's father. This idea of them being brothers was a scrapped idea from John Tobias from 30 years ago. He said it in the making of Mortal Kombat 1992. The fact this idea is now being used in the reboot confirms the rumors of him doing the character redesigns and working on the game. Yeah, I would lean heavily into that, right? So if we take out the garbage gameplay and all the other NRS isms, you know, in modern Mortal Kombat, the thing about MK1, you know, if John Tobias was involved, you know, I wonder, you know, if he's like, yeah, we'll just call it like Mortal Kombat Genesis or something, you know, Mortal Kombat Zero. Mortal Kombat Zero probably would have been better, you know, or Mortal Kombat New Era, whatever, right? Then we end up with having to call this game MK1. Like, just like I said in my last video, they're going to retcon that name. They're going to retcon it with an expansion. Apparently, Melina's Target disease origin was also Tobias' scrapped idea from years ago around MK2. So, if we find out John Tobias is involved, it explains a lot aesthetically. Backgrounds, character design, and, you know, possible story things. Now, the thing is, though, that, like, I mean, I would love to see a story fully invested in by John Tobias in Mortal Kombat. He is the reason why I love the story so much in Mortal Kombat. Okay, and when he left, you could tell things changed. It was not the same anymore, and that's a real shame. So if these things have actually come back because of him, that's a good thing, okay? But I still don't agree with the name change. Sorry, the name itself. It's an awful name, right? If converting Raiden to looking like the actual Japanese god of thunder then is his idea, okay, fine. I can accept that. However, as my last video, he's now Chinese, right? But this is the problem though, isn't it? Is that, you know, like, if his original idea was to make Raiden Japanese in the original game, then why wasn't he retained in that specific way moving forward? Does that make sense? Because he was with MK for a while before he left. You know, what was the grounding for that? If the answer was like, oh, well, you know, we needed more white people or whatever, it's like, look, you got tons of Asian representation in this game. Who cares if Raiden was Asian? If that was the reason why you made him white to even things up or some ridiculous statement like that, then that's just stupid. Okay. Now, I'm just trying to see, because like I get a few comments on my videos. Interesting ones. Right. And well, I'm trying to see, because there was something else I found. But I can't find. I'm trying to see if I can find a comment. Yeah. Maybe it's. Yeah, I don't know. It's. Maybe it's Seed's comment again. I don't know. Just trying to see. Okay, yeah, here we go. Yeah, so the video I did on the dude that made the massive post, congrats to him. He made another massive post as well. And he said that all of those external sources then form the creative pool John Tobias used to inspiration from. So that's including movies like Bloodsport and Kickboxer, Wrong Bet, Ninja in the Dragon's Den, American Ninja, Conan the Barbarian, Terminator, Big Trouble in Little China. If you want to see, like, you know, to me, right, Big Trouble in Little China, I would love to ask John Tobias one day how much of an impact did that movie actually have, because because Big Trouble in Little China literally has like the god of lightning and thunder in there. You've got Shang Tsung with Lo Pan. That's why I didn't that's why I did not like how they made Shang Tsung look in the MK movie 2021, because they made him look like this weird modern version of Lo Pan, right? But they obviously didn't want to rip off Lo Pan's visually, so they made Shang Tsung look how he did, like the old man and stuff like that. But the references and everything is actually there. That's what I like. That's what I mean. Like, Big Trouble in Little China seemed like this really big, you know, really big influence. Ray Harryhausen movies, Bruce Lee movies, Cynthia Rothrock, Millionaire's Express, Shaolin Kung Fu flicks from the 70s, and generic ninja movies, even toys. All of them were familiar to us, so when Mortal Kombat came out, it immediately felt familiar because of the backdrop. 1,000% again, 1,000%. Which is why, right? Which is why, like, modern Mortal Kombat feels off. This game aesthetically doesn't, though. This game aesthetically doesn't. But the gameplay is going to ruin it, right? Because obviously, even if like, you know, John Tobias is involved, he's only on there, I would assume, as story and maybe some sort of, like, you know, helping them navigate to make a much more sort of grounded looking game, which is what we have with Mortal Kombat Genesis. That's what we're going to call it. You know what I just realized? You know what the expansion could be called? They could call it the Dragon King, right? Because at the end of Mortal Kombat 1, Liu Kang, because I've been saying this for a while, Liu Kang probably ends up being the bad guy. Liu Kang might actually transform into Onaga, right? And so when they bring out the expansion, it'll be called Mortal Kombat the Dragon King. There's a freebie for you, right? So these ideas from Tobias are brilliant. Actually, actually brilliant. I actually love that. The problem is, though, is that you have to try and explain to people in the game why these things have occurred. Oh, we just want to reimagine them. Shut up. Just shut up. Right? There's a word for that. It's called retcon. Con. You're conning people. Okay? It's not a reimagining. Okay? Now, Tobias is involved. I'm more on board with it. But don't call it a reimagining. You're taking ideas that probably should have been implemented originally to do that. Now, on the flip side, the ideas that we then got to create these characters for the last 30 years were brilliant anyway. You know, warring, you know, ninja clans, Melina being a clone, so that way, you know, like, Shao Kahn had like a, essentially, I guess, like a more true, I don't know, like, whatever. You know, like, they still ended up being really good stories. This stuff, though, is pretty hardcore. For a game that came out then, that's pretty hardcore. And they probably, I can probably understand why they might have scrapped the whole brothers type thing, perhaps, maybe. I don't know if there was anything that happened in movies at the time or real life that would involve brothers that maybe they went, no, that's not going to be appropriate. But I do like that. I actually do like that. As a storyline. You know, that, say, for example, Scorpion, you know, and it's already been mentioned too, you know, Scorpion sort of like wanting to uphold the legacy and whatever goodness about the clan. Bihan gets jealous of that because there's a closer connection between, like, you know, Scorpion and whatever. But again, it goes into that, like, you know, does that mean that Scorpion will become Hanzo Hazashi when he moves to Japan to start the Shirai Ryu, right? Like, you know, if this is John Tobias's true vision, I want to know. I want to know that, right? Because then I can support it. Not just crappy retconning of characters and all that sort of stuff, and Boone's sitting there going, oh, we just want to reimagine them. No, just tell us the truth, man. Is this the hand of Tobias? Is this what's actually driving this particular, you know, storyline? And if that's the case, okay. I can actually be down with that. As long as the game expressly dictates moving forward. But the problem is, though, is that if you're taking like these scrapped ideas and trying to meld them with modern, like the hodgepodge of, you know, of what it is, then that may end up falling on its bottom as well, because it's like, you know what I mean? It's like, this is kind of, I don't know what you guys think. I'm more curious about the story now. Because, you know, that's the stuff that really got me into MK. And I'm not about the combos. This is like Oprah Winfrey. You get a combo, you get a combo, you get a combo. Shut up. That's not the meat of Mortal Kombat for me. Anyway, catch you next time.